referee tonight for the third time live on Sky Sports this year is Alan Wilkie, the British telecom engineer from Chester-le-Street in County Durham. Southampton in a change strip of all blue here. Tottenham with 9 points out of 12 already. Only Manchester United have beaten them. Southampton still looking for their first win, but they have had a very, very difficult opening month in terms of fixtures. Away they go, and the last time we had Southampton on, Matt Le Tissier scored in 28 seconds for them against Liverpool in a snowstorm last year. This is Richard Hall attacking the ball for Southampton. The young central defender, good to see him back fit again. Kerslake with the throw quickly to Teddy Sheringham. And Benali very quickly in. Benali being used these days in a central defensive role. Used to be left back in the Saints lineup.
That's where they've got to be aware early on, Southampton. Got to concentrate early in because they're so bright and alive at the moment, Tottenham.
Sheringham trying to get the nod on. He did get his foot to it, and Calderwood charging through them. Magilton in the end getting it away. Dowie's first touch back in the side. He's been rumoured to be going to Norwich City. Still hasn't signed a new contract. Charlton getting forward. Played long. The aerial threat of Ian Dowie, but Sol Campbell, the England under-21 central defender who throws in authority all the time, is the winner of that confrontation. Dowie again. Now here is Jim Magilton. This is Heaney. And it's a good tackle by Kersner.
I think what Southampton will find, you know, although that we know that Tottenham will play the ball about and want to play football, I think teams playing against Spurs will also be allowed to play as well.
Magilton trying to pick up Dowie's interesting run. And Jurgen Klinsmann, just named German Footballer of the Year for the second time. 5 goals in 4 matches already. Gets 2 tonight. He'll be the leading scorer in the Premiership, overtaking Andy Cole. Here's Barmby. Hall hooking it away, only as far as Sol Campbell for Tottenham. Edinburgh into Sheringham. Now here is Ilie Dumitrescu, the very, very talented and dangerous Romanian. A very good World Cup, including 2 goals against Argentina to knock them out. But here comes Southampton now. Magilton with a lot of room here in the centre of the midfield. Heaney is wide. And once again, Kerslake getting the foot in well.
There's an example. Throw so many men forward, Spurs. 5, 6 men at times in an attack. If it breaks down and the other team are quick and alert, you can certainly put them under pressure at the back.
It's going to be Spurs throwing this. Tottenham apparently in their 3-1 win at Ipswich 12 days ago. According to Ozzy Ardiles, they were beautiful. It was beautiful to watch, and apparently, I didn't see it, but apparently a very good performance. Now here is Klinsmann attacking the heart of that Southampton defence. Benali muscling him out of it. Saw Southampton up at Aston Villa, Andy, and they played pretty well there. Played plenty of good football and with a lot of spirit and fight as well. But a 1-1 draw that night.
Well, that's Alan Ball influence, isn't it? The one thing Bally had was spirit and fight. And then you can lace that with a bit of quality like Paul Allen on the ball and Matt Le Tissier. He must have some sort of chance here.
Paul Allen back on his own ground. Dumitrescu tracking back and playing the 1-2 very nicely with Edinburgh. Dumitrescu loves to make these penetrating runs from the left-hand side. He's found Sheringham now. Anderton's pulled wide. Lovely flowing football this from Spurs. What's on the end of it? Klinsmann was going for the spectacular volley. And Southampton breathe again.
Well, the very slight touch in Richard Hall's head was vitally important there. He pulled the trigger, Jurgen Klinsmann, for the cross. And I think Richard Hall just got a touch on the ball.
Justin Edinburgh is the man down injured, will need a spot of treatment.
Anderton made a wonderful run. Now watch Klinsmann 18 and watch 5 Hall. He's pulling the trigger. There goes Hall. And how important was that little header? Vital. Look at this, he set himself beautifully. And that's not only a very good header, it's a brave one as well, Ian.
Yes, because Klinsmann boot could have well made contact with his head in all that. Terrific play from Richard Hall, who missed nearly all of last season with a very complicated ankle injury.
Well, I hope this is a sign of things to come in this match. The opening 5 minutes are anything to go by. It should be wonderful to watch.
Here's Edinburgh, who's fit again. Now then, run for Klinsmann to chase with Benali. It's one-on-one here, and Klinsmann has won it. Here's Jurgen Klinsmann. Great save from Bruce Grobbelaar and Anderton. And now Klinsmann again, and this time Spurs are ahead. He's done it again. Jurgen Klinsmann.
Well, it's times like this, you look at goalkeepers and you feel a bit sorry for Bruce Grobbelaar. He made a wonderful save initially. Klinsmann showing his power, his determination, his pace and his strength to get through. You think it's all over, but Bruce spreads himself well. And this is going into his arms as well. Benali doesn't know that. He thinks he's blocked it. Back it comes to Klinsmann. And the second opportunity is a simple one for a man of his quality. Watch this. Bruce has got it covered, Ian. Benali takes it away from him, and no wonder he's so disappointed.
Well, we didn't have the diving celebrations this time, but Jurgen Klinsmann again earning plenty of marks for both artistic impression and technical merit, and Benali's having to go off to get some treatment.
I would suggest that there's a cut or something about Francis Benali. You don't normally go off like that, and it might have happened during the tussle, Ian, in the first run for the ball.
Nick Collins, I'm sure, will find out what that's all about. I'll go to him just as soon as he has found out. Now here is Kenner, meanwhile, for a 10-man Southampton. Just the start they didn't need here, and another very difficult fixture for them. Spurs crowd have already come to life as Charlton plays the 1-2 here with Heaney. Charlton. Jilton's got himself forward. Here he is, the Northern Ireland international. That's interesting. Ooh.
It was speculative, wasn't it? No intention in going for goal, Jim Jilton, of that I'm sure. But looking just to hook it over his head, put it in the danger area. Didn't quite get it right. Hooks it more towards goal, we can see there. And almost, just almost, embarrassed Ian Walker, but he had it covered, the goalkeeper.
A highly respected player, Jim Jilton. And meanwhile, Klinsmann is having some treatment.
I think that may be due to that clash of heads. When the ball bounced, both Benali and Klinsmann both went for it very determinedly, Ian. And it may be there was a clash of heads. Here's a tap in, this is the one. He's thinking, that's relief. That's relief.
Well, we've had a lot of injuries in the opening minutes, but we've also had a goal from Jurgen Klinsmann early on here to put Tottenham in the box seat straight away. It's turning into a dream move so far, isn't it? Everything he touches turns to gold. Well, that's the idealist there, Andy.
Deserves a great deal of credit, doesn't he? Great deal of credit. Huge gamble, I think a lot of people thought.
Good head in there from Charlton. Southampton here will need to show all of the character that Alan Ball has instilled into them. They escaped the drop, remember, last season by just 1 point, as they did the season before. And nobody, I think, down in the Southampton area among the fans there is under any misapprehensions. It's going to be another big fight for them this time. To underline the difference in pedigree a little here, or certainly wealth. Tottenham Hotspur, who've spent millions in the transfer market, Southampton were able to spend just 30,000 on reserve defender Peter Wiston from Exeter City. That rather illustrates the gap in buying potential between the haves and the have-nots of the Premiership. Edinburgh taking his eye off it. Majoton aimed towards the head of Ian Dowie.
And they've just got to make sure that they don't concede another one while they've only got 10 men on the pitch here. It's important that they keep it at 1-0 until Francis Benali is able to come back on, which I'm sure he will if it is what I suspect are cuts.
This is laid off towards Anderton, and Richard Hall getting it into touch. Southampton under the early cosh here. Nick Collins has a bit of news for us.
Ian, Francis Benali's got a bad cut above his left eye. They're patching him up at the moment. They hope to have him back on the field very shortly. Thanks, Nick.
I told you Nick Collins had come up with the news in no time. He always does. Now here's Dumitrescu. Colin Calderwood playing the anchor role, but maybe his place will come under threat from Popescu's arrival. Calderwood will have other ideas himself, of course.
He can only perform as well as he has been this season. The rest is up to his manager.
It's been a bit of a comeback for him because he was dropped for the last few months of last season. Here's Calderwood again now. Anderton in towards the Spurs skipper these days, Teddy Sheringham, and now Calderwood wide.
That's an example of the movement, Ian. How deep Teddy Sheringham was, but he's got no fears of leaving them short. Nicky Bambi immediately stepped forward into his area to get himself level with Jurgen Klinsmann.
Spurs will go third if they win here tonight. They've certainly made the right kind of start. Grobbelaar's clearance only going to Barmby, but he's got away with that. Bruce says he wants to go on till he's 40. Gives him another 4 years.
Wouldn't bet against it. Here's it. Look how well he spreads himself there, Ian, and look how quickly he's up. And watch how unlucky he is. You can't blame Francis Benali. He doesn't know Bruce has got it covered. The second chance, well, you don't expect a striker of Klinsmann's quality to miss them.
It's tough on Bruce Grobbelaar, who'd made a great save from Klinsmann to begin with. Campbell wide here for Justin Edinburgh. There's Stuart Nethercott, another England under-21 international, though he was injured for last week's game against Portugal. Now Benali is back in action. The cut's been patched up. Campbell's missed cue. Presenting possession here to Simon Charlton. Heaney making a run for him. Sheringham back defending this time, but quickly in is Jim Majoton. Benali. No problems really for Stuart Nethercott. Calderwood to Sheringham and Barmby. It's well broken up though by Benali. Not too much seen of Letitia so far, but he has this habit of drifting around and then exploding into games with something very spectacular. Benali, that was aimed towards Letitia. Now he's got it. Nicely in for Jim Majoton. Dumitrescu, but Allen winning it back from him. And then Letitia. Well, we did warn you.
But I do think you get a chance against Tottenham, even at 15 minutes. I think they're not natural defenders in the midfield. You can see what Mark Letitia is trying to do. He's trying to bend it into that top corner. Didn't quite get hold of it the way he would have liked. But it's not natural for people like Dumitrescu and Anderton and Bambi to be real good, solid defenders, Ian. And that's why I think at times teams will get a chance. The thing you have to do, though, is stop them scoring, which isn't easy.
You've got just a bit of firepower, haven't they, around the place?
I'll say.
Let's have a look at the shots so far. Tottenham 3, Southampton 1, and they've all been on target, Andy. Benali wins that one in the air for Southampton. Jeff Kenner, who's made that right back position his own down at the Dell. Very young, this Southampton side. Most of them 25 or under. It's one of the youngest sides they've ever put out. And they've got a pretty good youth system as well down there. They've produced plenty of their own players. And of course they need to.
That's obviously the secret at Southampton. Got to produce, and Alan knows that better than most.
Told the Southampton players when he arrived earlier this year that he wanted passion and pride in wearing the Southampton shirt, and they did escape the drop from what looked a very, very difficult position around the turn of the year. Now then, here's Heaney, maybe this time something for Southampton, and the header from Letitia. Well, that was a good chance.
That was a great chance, Ian. That was a great chance. The cross was inch perfect. He's every right to be disappointed, Neil Heaney. He wins the ball very well here, and now he's got to produce. Can he produce a cross? The answer is yes. Now, Matt, stick that in the far corner. And that's not a great header, Ian. Look at that, he's got time, he sees it all the way. He can plant his feet, which means he can put power into the header. But he doesn't direct it as well as he should have done.
Well, it was well wide of Walker, but it was wide of the post as well. That was the problem for Southampton, but maybe here Spurs can come back and make them pay more. Kerslake, Klinsmann's there again. Interesting little knock down. Hall getting it away. Good challenge from Charlton. Now Letitia is beginning to get more into this now. Now for Allen, he made that hard for Allen, but still Southampton. Harry, that's nicely worked. And Majuton, oh, off the underside of the bar. Now Letitia, and brilliantly saved by Walker. Well, Southampton was so unlucky there. Jim Majuton nearly scored his first Southampton goal.
Keep saying it, Ian, you'll get a chance. The reason they had the chance there, both fullbacks were caught way forward. Letitia hits a wonderful ball through. Majuton hits a great shot. Gets no luck, but I tell you what, that was a magnificent stop from Ian Walker.
Well, Alan Ball will be cursing his luck there. It was a pretty good effort, wasn't it, from Majuton. Calderwood. Now Klinsmann off the outside of his foot, though it's cut out this time. Flicked on by Allen, now Letitia. Well, Southampton have shown already that they can produce things here. No reward for them so far. Here's Majuton again, who's having a very good game. In towards Heaney. Now this is Dumitrescu. There he goes again. Past about 3 defenders. Looks for the 1-2 with Klinsmann. This is offside against Barnby.
Gets very narrow for Dumitrescu here. This is what he always seems to do. He always likes to go infield onto his right. And I think teams against him will be quite happy, because look at the amount of blue jerseys he's running into. And then it becomes very difficult and very tight to play neat little 1-2s. I like to see him occasionally just go the other way, go outside. But he doesn't seem as happy going on to his left side as he certainly seems on his right.
He combined so brilliantly at the World Cup with Hagi and Radachoiu, and Romania were absolutely outstanding. They won last week as well, European Championship qualifier against Azerbaijan. The soccer map is changing.
Just about.
Paul Allen for Southampton, who haven't played at all badly so far. The one behind. Kenner gets this one in. Never got away. Here is Dumitrescu. Barmby's here. Just opening up. He tried to play in Dumitrescu.
You see how position counts, Ian. When you get that many players that close together. Again, he goes infield. And you see the blue shirts. Now he's got to thread it, and it's got to be so accurate. And if it isn't, then they don't connect.
They stood off Barmby a little too. He almost had time to tee up his own shot, but
he had options. I think the good thing about that, he had options, Ian. The thing you always want to give the player on the ball are 1, 2, and if you can give him 3 options, well, that's wonderful. And at least Barmby had a couple there.
There's possession so far, and more or less 50-50, isn't it? Spurs just shading it at the moment, and that shows how well Southampton have played, that given away the early goal to Klinsmann, and Anderton trying to get on the end of this one. Charlton there in the confrontation with him, and you can see the disappointment on his face that the decision was given the other way. This is Kerslake, Sheringham, Anderton. Again, it was aimed towards Klinsmann. Again, it was Hall that got it away for Southampton. Charlton looking to pick up Dowie's run, but Nethercott had read it. Calderwood long, now Klinsmann, one-on-one here with Hall, who does his job well. Still only 22, Richard Hall, former England under-21 international. Here is Matt Le Tissier. It was aimed towards Majorton. It finds him in the end because Anderton couldn't quite make the interception. Charlton and Heaney. Heaney the man in possession. In towards Majorton, who let it run quite intelligently. It almost came through to Le Tissier. Still maybe something. Maddison plays it in, and Majorton again getting into an attacking role.
There is plenty in this game for Southampton to be happy about. They've enjoyed good possession. That's a good ball in. The only thing he didn't have was enough support. I don't know whether he had a quick look and thought, well, I've got to go for goal because the support's not there.
On his 23rd cap for Northern Ireland against Portugal last week, Jim Majorton. Klinsmann winning this one. Kenner getting the foot in for Southampton. Paul Allen foraging away well, as he used to so often at White Hart Lane. Here's Heaney again. Charlton's making a run on his outside, and Walker claims it well.
That's a decent ball. I have to say it's a decent ball.
Ian Walker getting his chance with Eric Tortsved out injured at the moment, and working in the studio with Sky Sports tonight. Eric recovering from his shoulder operation. Le Tissier down for Maddison. Charlton. Nethercott gets in well ahead of Dowie. Central defensive partnership of Stuart Nethercott and Sol Campbell were together when the England under-21 team won the Toulon tournament, and well, they're really playing for their places all the time. All this speculation in the papers about first Phil Babb, there was Marcio Santos, the Brazilian, mentioned as well, but they're trying to persuade Ozzy Ardiles that he doesn't have to spend.
He's doing a bad job of that.
That was just about the first mistake that Jim Majorton had made there, I think. Anderton, now then, Klinsmann here. Chance to use his pace, but Benali's got a bit as well.
Look how quickly they get to the ball, Ian, though. They get to the throw-in and they take it quickly. So alive, so alert up top. They really are.
Well, he's got one already, Klinsmann. You just can't keep him out of the headlines. Not at the moment, anyway. Nicky Barmby. Sol Campbell. Barmby Barmby gets in well. Here's Klinsmann. And here is Sheringham. And here is Dumitrescu. And that's the post.
To be fair to Bruce Grobbelaar, I felt he had it covered all the way. They're so keen to put each other in, aren't they? Klinsmann to Sheringham. I thought Teddy Sheringham's going to pull the trigger, but no. He looks to play in Dumitrescu. The angle's tight, but you can see Bruce there. He actually took his hand away from it, so as not to give away the corner.
Yes, it was the outside of the post, and it was well covered. Charlton. Dowie. Dowie who's in the shot window, really, at the moment. There are stories that Wimbledon were interested, Norwich City as well. Barmby with the explosive little burst through the midfield. Here's Klinsmann. And the flag was up anyway, and Grobbelaar very quickly off his line.
It's close though, isn't it? Look at him pointing. Put me in, he's saying. But we can see there, the linesman's absolutely right. About half a yard in it.
Well, any thoughts that this might be a Southampton goal riot, with Southampton as the fall guys, have been dispelled here because Southampton have had more than their share of the game.
Southampton have had the better chances, it has to be said. But it might yet still be a goal block.
Here's Letitia aiming to produce one himself. Anderton and Calderwood did well between them. Klinsmann's neat little layoff for Sheringham. The interplay between this so-called famous five of Spurs. Interesting to behold. Edinburgh gets the cross in. Barmby with the flying header.
Pulls across just behind Klinsmann, but who's arriving? Another white shirt. He'll be a little bit disappointed, Nicky Barmby. It was a good ball, he saw it all the way, it was at a good height. He tried to put a little bit too much power into the header, I felt.
Little Nicky Barmby, who's had 6 operations in the last year or so. Needs a run without one. The versatile Sol Campbell to Calderwood. Oh, they're getting in a mess there, Tottenham. Letitia. Oh, did it go out of play? Yes, it did. And it's Tottenham's throw as well. And these two sides last met, they were both in deep relegation trouble, with Spurs winning 3-0. Now here's Majotkin. But on that occasion, Letitia was not in the Southampton side. He was suspended. You might remember that towards the end of last season. Complete change in mood from Tottenham since then. But here's Charlton for Southampton. Well, it was worth the try on his good left foot.
It's going to be hairy being a Tottenham fan this year. It's going to be so enjoyable to watch him going forward. But you're going to have to prepare yourself for things like this. A little bit sloppy there. And Charlton's got a fair left foot on him. No surprise to see him have an attempt from there.
Well, Andy, they've had a 4-3 win already at Sheffield Wednesday. I've got a feeling there might be 1 or 2 more of those along the way.
There might be 1 or 2 4-3 defeats as well, you know.
Yeah. Now here's Anderton. Support was arriving, and Grobbelaar, oh, he's missed it, and Sheringham! The chance goes begging onto that reconstructed south stand end.
Well, by Teddy Sheringham's standards, and he knows that little shake of the head tells us it all. Because he doesn't expect to get a chance here. Grobbelaar thinks, I've got that. Out it comes, down he goes. It's sitting up quite nicely for Teddy Sheringham. And he'll be disappointed he didn't hit the target at all. I think that's his disappointment. Lovely ball in, teasing, tempts Bruce. He doesn't need any encouragement to come for crosses. Look at that, sets up lovely for Teddy. He can't keep it down.
Bruce Grobbelaar is among the most relieved men in North London at the moment. Majorton helps this on towards Letitia, and Kerslake getting back well. Kerslake, who's battling away for that place, of course, with Dean Austin. Only one goal here so far, but several chances at both ends. Tissier. Here he is again. Charlton. Still got it. Southampton continuing to make a pretty fair argument of it here. Tissier, and is that a corner kick? I think it is. Yes, it is. Richard Hall's coming forward from the back. He has been known to score with headers, and Walker claims it with Dowie waiting behind. Never reached him.
That's food and drink. Anything that's dropping on the edge of your 6-yard box in the middle of the goal, you expect any goalkeeper worth his salt to come and collect it in that amount of space.
This is the young Irishman, Jeff Kenner. Quite interesting, Andy. Southampton, in their first couple of games, used a sweeper, Tommy Widrington. And they abandoned that after losing 5-1 at Newcastle. I wondered if they might bring it back tonight, but no.
I felt not. I really did. I thought that against this type of formation, you're just putting an extra man at the back, marking no one at times, and you end up with 3 against 1. And that's the last thing I wanted. What he's done, he's pushed an extra man into the midfield area. And it's certainly working for them in the opening half hour.
This is Majordan, but it's no problem at all for Ian Walker.
I mean, the score may be 1-0 to Tottenham, but this has been a pretty even encounter.
There's one very, very good chance for Letitia, and Jim Majordan hitting the underside of the bar and the ball bouncing out. Madison getting his foot in well. Goal attempt so far, there it is, 6 each. Rather underlines the point we were making about it being a pretty even game, and attempts on target 3 each.
Says it all.
Southampton are wishing it said 1-1 in the goals column as well. Charlton. Alan Ball is certainly among his biggest fans. He only cost $250,000 from Huddersfield and will be going back there in the League Cup next week. Was he pushed there by Kenner? The referee, Wilkie, says he was. Now here is Sheringham. Edinburgh into Dumitrescu here. He's going to try his luck. He didn't get hold of him.
Well, that's when he is a danger. When he comes in and you give him that much space, and people like Dumitrescu are not going to be shy aiming for goal, but he didn't. You're quite right. Didn't get hold of it at all.
Apparently one of Dumitrescu's biggest fans earlier in his career was the hated dictator President Ceausescu, who insisted that Dumitrescu came and played for his provincial club FC Alt for a year. Here is Sheringham. Another mishit one. Just past the half-hour mark here. And Tottenham still leading by Jurgen Klinsmann's very early goal. Here is Dumitrescu. That's well cut out by Charlton. This is Iohini, former Arsenal winger. Barnby helping it forward. Shot long towards Dowie. Nethercott in there very fast indeed. He looks pretty solid, doesn't he, this Stuart Nethercott? Allen. Dowie. keep the momentum going. Kenner attacking Justin Edinburgh. And it's going to be a goal kick.
That must be a corner.
Well,
that's a corner. I can't believe that.
Certainly touched Edinburgh last, I think.
Well, it did. Not even a doubt about it. Look at that. It didn't just touch him. He's knocked it about 5 yards offline. That's why he's so desperate to catch it.
Well, I don't think it's that he's laughing about, but it's good to see the players with the rapport with the referees. Here is Dumitrescu. Calderwood. Darren Anderton with his roving roll. And Edinburgh into the danger area. And Robillard was there first.
That would have been a good ball as well, Ian, had someone been committed to the near post, had gambled in that area.
Campbell in well to deny Majoffin, but it's only fallen for Paul Allen. He just played Heaney into a spot of trouble, really, didn't he?
Yeah, that's a free kick. Matt Le Tissier is not happy because David Kerslake jumped in at him with 2 feet. We saw something similar yesterday from Eric Cantona. Now, it's not that, but it's the next one. Now, watch Kerslake. Le Tissier's going for the ball. Now, look at that. Now, I don't like to see that. I said it yesterday, and I say it again today. I don't like to see tackles like that, Ian, because they can end up ending people's careers. And unlike yesterday, though, David Kerslake finds himself in the boot.
He was showing his studs, wasn't he?
Alan Wilkie's saying quite simply, one more and you're off.
The meaning of that was pretty clear for David Kerslake. A very stern telling off from Alan Wilkie for that challenge on Matt Le Tissier.
Well, it takes a lot for Matt Le Tissier to get angry. Ian, he's normally a placid kind of guy. So you could tell he wasn't too happy with the challenge.
No injuries, happily. Le Tissier's free kick. Easily cleared by Edinburgh, but only to Kenner. Dowie was sold short. Now, here is Dumitrescu. And easily cut out here by Kenner.
Well done, Nicky Barnby! Well done, Nicky Barnby!
Charlton. Campbell cuts it out. It's a good challenge by Francis Benali. On towards Majoffin here. Dowie's ahead of him. Heaney's wide. On the other flank is Le Tissier, and here he is. Oh, Dowie there was screaming for it on the far post and had taken up a very good position.
Well, that's very unlike Matt Le Tissier. I think that would have surprised Ian Dowie. A ball like this to Le Tissier, you would normally guarantee end product, Ian. Normally guarantee it. He'll be as disappointed as anybody.
I think Dowie was unmarked on that far post as well. But as we keep saying, it's pretty easy from up in the grandstand.
I haven't played a bad game since I retired to here.
Free kick for Spurs, taken quickly here for Sheringham. Kerslake on towards Barnby here. Benali with the challenge. Barnby gets it in again, and Klinsmann with a header!
I think Jeff Kenner's pretty pleased about that. It was straight to Bruce Robillard. Completely under the ball. To allow Klinsmann a free header.
He's so clever around the penalty box, though, Klinsmann, in pulling into spaces away from defenders. Anderton there back defending. Anderton playing against his hometown club. He was brought up in the Southampton area and played for Southampton schools, but I think he'd have to go down as a miss. Ended up at Portsmouth, of course.
Here's his header from Jurgen Klinsmann now. Hall's worried about Sheringham's arrival, and he's covered that. But look at Jeff Kenner. I mean, he's in an awful position.
Southampton were not made to pay on that occasion. The wonder really in this first half is that there's only been one goal. There's always the feeling that another one is just around the corner, but so far it hasn't quite materialised. Now the referee wants a word with Ian Dowie about something.
I think Dowie and the other coach, I think he wants a quiet word just to calm it down. They've been involved in one or two aerial challenges. Perhaps you're saying to Ian Dowie, just watch your arms or whatever.
Now coming up on Sky Sports for you, Super Sunday is Chelsea against Blackburn Rovers. Good game that one. Chelsea going well this season despite that defeat at Newcastle. Well, everyone's losing there, aren't they? And then on Monday Night Football, the derby match, Ipswich against Norwich City, and always lots and lots of passion on that occasion. Majotan, it's rather given away. Klinsmann and Dumitrescu, the two World Cup stars. Swapping passes, it's Dumitrescu out in unfamiliar territory for him so far on the right. Anderton. Edinburgh. And Paul Allen tracking that well, but Spurs have possession back again in the shape of Nicky Barmby. Anderton is wide. Edinburgh looks for the cross. Away by Hall. Letitia playing this long for Heaney. He's got some pace, Heaney. Oh! And, well, Southampton denied the game by Walker.
That's a good save, but a wonderful break from defence to attack from Southampton. Ian Dowie deserved a lot of credit. He held it up really well, found Letitia, and this time he connected brilliantly with Heaney. Beautifully weighted pass.
Neil Heaney close there to his first ever goal in the top flight. And Heaney again. And that was further away. Well, some famous Spurs old boys here tonight. I'm saying that everybody wants to see them. Pat Jennings is here and Ray Clements, two famous old goalkeepers of Spurs. Here's Letitia, tries the lob, oh, didn't work for him, and on many other occasions Letitia there, I'm sure, would have executed that to perfection. And Madison hammering that away into one of the executive boxes. Brightening up a few of the evenings for some people in the posh suits up there. Now here's Barnby. Goal kick.
When he gets in at half-time, Alan Ball's going to wonder why his team are 1-0 down, Ian. The setback of that early goal, but since then they've responded really well. Created wonderful chances and some great goalkeeping, and some bad luck has kept the scoreline 1-0 against them.
Calderwood, this looks dangerous. Sheringham, here's Dumitrescu. Klinsmann's in there waiting for something as well. Dumitrescu going alone, and out of play in the end.
Well, it's a nightmare for defenders, to have people who are committed to running at you. And when you get in the box now, you've got to be careful. I think if he'd been more natural, he'd have put it across earlier on his left side. Jeff Kenner stumbles, Dumitrescu can't quite keep it in.
The goal attempts are 9 each so far. There's plenty of penalty area action here. Spurs might have had 3, but so too might Southampton. Haven't been entirely convincing, have they, Tottenham, Andy?
I mean, I said it in the first 5 minutes, Ian. I think they'll give you a chance if you want to play against them. I do think the system allows you to get an opportunity to get the ball down, to break quickly, to really test them at the back. And if you can keep them out at your end, then you will have a chance. And I think that Southampton are showing that. I mean, Ozzy's going to be happy watching his team this season, I feel, at times when they're 3-0 up.
Certainly the face isn't giving too much away, is it? He's a good poker player. Dumitrescu in again, Grobbelaar. Just to keep it interesting for the crowd at the second attempt.
Great shout, though. We could hear it from up here. That shout to his defenders. There was no mistaking he was coming for it.
And here's Charlton for Southampton. Can they grab an equaliser just before the break here? Benali. Maddison, who's comes from up in the northeast, the same production line that produced Alan Shearer for Southampton. Allen gets past Dumitrescu. Barmby challenges as well and does enough. Corner kick.
And Nicky Barmby, if he was speaking the right language, he would be having a word with Dumitrescu. Paul Allen skipped around him very easily. And it was left to Barmby to show what English football's all about. Not giving things up easily and getting back in there and getting a tackle in.
Letizier's corner. Dowie goes in there. And Calderwood slicing it over his own bar in the end.
Nervous moments yet again. Dowie climbs very well above Nethercott, pillars the header down. And typical of Southampton's half, Ian, nothing's dropped for them.
Still might, though. Here's the cross. Dowie's in again.
It's another corner. It's another corner.
Must have just brushed a Spurs head on the way through. But Tottenham are living distinctly dangerously back there.
It's a type of game, you know, if you're Alan Ball, you don't want the half-time whistle. You want it to carry on because your team are doing well. For Ozzy, he wants to get his team in at half-time, settle them down and rearrange.
Walcott wins this one, much to the relief of the Tottenham faithful. Here's Klinsmann, but Kenner gets the foot in, and then the tireless Majorcan mops it up. That's the last touch of an interesting first half. Loads of chances, but only one goal. Jurgen Klinsmann scoring his 6th goal of the season. A storybook start.
An old mate of mine there in the stand, John Gregory. John Gregory from Leicester, obviously running the rule over Tottenham tonight.
They play on Saturday, Leicester v Spurs at Filbert Street, when Mr. Popescu may well be in the Tottenham lineup. He'll certainly be available if all the information we're receiving is accurate. We're told the international clearance is imminent for Popescu. There's the half-time score. If you're just tuning in, Tottenham 1, Southampton 0. The scorer, Jurgen Klinsmann, who is now the joint leading scorer in the Premiership with Andy Cole on 6. Spurs in their white shirts, attacking the goal to your right at the start of the second half then. And Southampton, I think it has to be said, on what we saw in the first 45 minutes, a little unlucky to be behind.
I think more than a little. But I think the fact that Tottenham are actually heading towards an end that's full of their supporters may psychologically help them this half in.
Here's Dowie. Enigmatic and mercurial Letizier. I wonder what he's got in store for us in the next 45 minutes. Anderton playing the 1-2 with Edinburgh, but Richard Hall, whose fitness is improving with every game. He was left out of the last one against Liverpool. Came on the sub when Moncada was injured, but he's performed pretty solidly back there tonight. Jim Magilton, Southampton's outstanding player in that first half. Now Big Sol Campbell, who seems to play, or can play, just about every position but goalkeeper for Tottenham. Letitia, nice turn. Not such a good pass though, and Nethercott easily able to cut it out and feed Dumitrescu, who's off on another of his runs down that left-hand side. But he does like to come inside all the time. Finds Sheringham this time. Can Anderton make something of that? He can. Barmby though, sort out of it by Maddison. Now here's Heaney. Letitia flicked it on towards Dowie. Letitia had a bit more time, I think, than he realised there.
He just threw a leg at that. That's very unlike Matt Letitia. That was lazy, it was sloppy.
Things have turned around pretty dramatically for Letitia. It was about a year ago, wasn't it, as Dumitrescu goes down injured, that Letitia was dropped by Ian Brownfoot and was out in the cold, and now he's in the England squad. Nick Collins has a bit of news for us.
Ian, I was talking to Laurie McMenemy at half-time, and he was telling me that everybody thinks tonight is the Tottenham Hotspur show, and he said, well, we're here to prove we're not just country bumpkins and we can play a bit too. He said, with a bit more luck, we'd have been level at half-time, and we still believe we can get something out of it. Also had a word with Steve Perriman, the assistant manager at Tottenham, and he said that he reckoned keeper Ian Walker had been their best player in the first half. Not surprisingly, he reckoned that they had to tidy up defensively in the second half, though he did point out that he felt Southampton were frightened of Sheringham and Klinsmann, and he thought Spurs might be able to exploit that in the second half.
Thank you, Nick. All the half-time news, views and gossip from the dressing rooms.
Amazing with all the talent that Spurs have in the outfield, the famous five everyone's talking about. And their man of the match so far has been the goalkeeper.
Yes, the script's always there to be ripped up, isn't it? One part of it has been obeyed already. Klinsmann's goal. I'm not sure Southampton have read the rest of it. Here's Charlton. It's nicely worked between Magilton and then Heaney, who can't quite find Dowie. Kenner. This is Paul Allen. Edinburgh wins it. Now Dumitrescu quite happy to try and take on and beat people even that deep. Calderwood. Being used in this midfield role, out-and-out central defender previously in his career, of course. Edinburgh. Hall gets past him. How crucial will that be? Barmby gets another touch, and Klinsmann with the overhead kick. And Bruce Grobbelaar kept it in.
Bit of gardening for Bruce there. Look at the mess they've made.
He's got to buy the groundsman at White Hart Lane a pint, hasn't he?
Look at Klinsmann though. Look at him watching the ball, watching it all the way. One or two shouts for handball there against Francis Benalla. You see the fans go up behind the goal. They think it was, but I think that would have been very harsh.
Here comes Heaney for Southampton. Nethercott is in the way of it, then Kerslake. Maddison now picking it up. Heaney or Anderton having to get back in defence. Spurs really having to work in defence of their lead here. And Southampton again starting strongly at the beginning of this second half. Francis Benalla, some blood beginning to seep from that cut that had been patched up early on, the clash of heads with Jurgen Klinsmann just before the goal. There's Letitia, and Maddison was in there and just over the top. Walker didn't get it.
I think Sheringham did. That can be my only assumption here. It's a tantalising ball in there. But look at Teddy Sheringham. He knows he's got to put his head on it. He knows he's risking an own goal. But he manages to get it clear.
Another near thing. Letitia swings this one in. Dowie is there beyond the far post with the volley. Away by Edinburgh. And Charlton.
Well, it's more of the same, Ian. Second half started the way the first ended, with Southampton asking all the questions. Look at Ian Dowie. He knows that Nethercott's got himself underneath it, so he just pulls off his shoulder. He hits this really well. Walker's got it covered, there's no doubt about that. But Charlton has already shown us tonight that if he gets the ball 20, 30 yards from goal, he's going to be prepared to hit it.
He's only got one goal since moving from Huddersfield so far. That was early last season, Simon Charlton, but he's been prepared to gamble tonight with the shots. Heaney. Now Klinsmann. Good challenge from Maddison in there. Calderwood it was who won possession back for Spurs. Sheringham dropping deep. Finds Klinsmann very nicely. And Dumitrescu.
I think you're always struggling when you come in at that angle and you're taking it with your right foot. It's a more difficult shot. More natural foot is definitely the left to be hitting it with, but he's not as comfortable with that. He'll shape his body different to hit that and keep it down. But if I was Alan Ball, the one thing that would worry me, I'd look at my team and I think, hey, we've played well tonight. For 50 minutes, we've given better than we've got. But he looks around, there are 5 players, and he'll think, at any moment, one of them can produce a piece of magic and we could be 2 down. And all the good work is out the window. So while they're playing well, it's just so important that they get a goal for this good play.
That's why this game is so fascinatingly poised. It really is. Now Kenner. Allen's made a good little run for him here. Maddison in support. That'll be a Southampton throw. Goal attempts more for Southampton than Spurs now. Reflecting their bright start to the second half. Goal kick is the decision. No, it's not free kick. I thought the referee Alan Wilkie was pointing there for the goal kick.
No, he's going to book Justin Edinburgh for this tackle. He's a little late, he's a little clumsy, but these days, in any tackle at all, you're always risking your name going in the book.
Second booking for Spurs. David Kerslake, the other fullback, already in the book. Justin Edinburgh joining him there. And Southampton's pressure builds, but can they produce an equaliser? Letitia to take this free kick. Hall was in there. The back header from Calderwood was pretty important.
Oh, you can't be serious.
Well, did seem to be a Southampton throw, but given Spurs' way. Sheringham, Dumitrescu out in space here. Waiting in the middle, Barnby and Klinsmann. Anderton's arriving. Edinburgh chips it in. Klinsmann's here with a great chance! And off the line by Benali.
Well, his goalkeeper needed help that time from Francis Benali, and he's happy to shake his hand. This is a great ball in from Edinburgh, it really was. There's no pace in the ball, and that made the header difficult. Bruce looked for help, and Francis Benali obliged. That would have been an injustice, Ian, because it was their throw-in, and they almost lost a goal from a bad decision from the referee.
Anderton chips this one up. He's back to concede the corner. Very, very quick feet it was from Francis Benali there. He had to be quick because Anderton was closing in and got it away. Good play by Benali.
It's funny, it was the type of cross where had it been more pace on it, there's no doubt in my mind Klinsmann would have scored.
Anderton. That's Nethercott on the near post. That's a training ground routine. And Bruce Grobbelaar is the winner that time.
Well, they'll be happy now because it could have been so different. Matthew Letitia had 1 or 2 words with the linesman on this near side as they were facing that corner. He was not happy about that decision.
Yes, I'm pretty definite it came off Calderwood's head.
You're absolutely
should have
right.
been a Southampton throw-in. Well, Matt Letizia here produced over half of Southampton's league goals last year, 25 out of 49. I wouldn't say he kept them up single-handedly, but he was certainly the major contributor. Klinsmann doing well. Calderwood. This is Ili Dumitrescu.
I know he cost over £2 million, but I still think whether it's a getting to know you stage, he's got to add something to his game. At the moment, every time he gets it, I can close my eyes and predict where he's going to go with the ball. I'll tell you, 9 times out of 10 I'd be right.
Certainly does seem as if these so-called famous five of Southampton, Tottenham, are still learning to play with each other. There's a possession, Southampton more of it, but crucially still that goal behind in the 6th minute, scored by Klinsmann. Calderwood here, can he find the ball underneath his feet? He can in the end.
Sigh of relief for Colin Calderwood. Never really had control of it. And at the moment, still, everything running Tottenham's way.
Charlton. Benali makes something of it. Letizia gets a little flick on. Dowie's in there. Campbell will have to be quick in his. This is Jeff Kenner.
You just get the impression, if Southampton don't score fairly soon, then they're going to be hit with a sucker punch from Tottenham and find themselves 2-0 down. And that would be cruel, because they really have contributed very well to the entertainment tonight.
Here's Sheringham, though. Dumitrescu. Sheringham again. It's a nice idea. It looked good, but it was cut out easily enough by Southampton. More battle for possession. Allen comes away with it. Finds Charlton. Now here's Heaney. Had that good chance in the first half. Majoton.
It's a difficult ball, Ian. Difficult ball.
Edinburgh's long ball, and Sheringham did very well there. Great spring from him. Here he is again. Kerslake cuts inside easily enough, beats Benali. Quite a little challenge from Maddison and Charlton in there eventually, but here comes Calderwood for Tottenham. Sheringham flicks it on. Benali's there for Southampton. Here comes Southampton on the counter with Heaney. Only Dowie really in support at the moment as Tottenham funnel back, but Heaney's prepared to take them on. This is a great run from him. And some good challenging back there from Colin Calderwood.
That's what he's there for. That's what I meant about that triangle. Nethercott, Campbell, and this man Calderwood. How it's so important if one of the centre-halves are beaten in that situation, that Colin Calderwood's alive to the situation.
This is Letizier's corner, and Walker claiming it well. Been a bit unsettled at Spurs, Ian Walker, and frustrated at not being able to claim the #1 spot. He's having his chance at the moment. Now here's Anderton. Charlton was in the way. It's not quite rhyming for Spurs when they do push forward. Past the hour mark now. Kerslake gets it in again. Anderton, nicely weighted here for Dumitrescu. Barnby, Edinburgh. Well, Anderton was coming back from an offside position, and the flag did go up for that.
Yeah, I think the fact that he was right in front of the goal, right in the middle of the goal. Look at the number 9, he's coming out, but look, Ian, he's right in front of goal. And I think the linesman has no option. in that situation when they put the flag up.
Well, at Aston Villa recently, Southampton were behind for a long, long time and equalised in the last minute through Matthew Le Tissier. Heaney, away by Nethercott. Madison, who was the second top scorer for Southampton last year, up wide here now to Kenner. Le Tissier again, this is nicely worked. Campbell is there before Paul Allen can get there.
Well read, Sol Campbell, well read indeed.
Sol Campbell will celebrate his 20th birthday next Sunday. More defending for him to do now as the corner comes splashing in there. Dowie was attacking it. Campbell did just enough to make sure that he didn't make contact. Chance for Spurs to counter. Barmby to Klinsmann. Dumitrescu arriving in support for the German World Cup star. Benali. And the opposite number 3, Edinburgh, winning it back now for Spurs. Dumitrescu to Sheringham this time. Now Heaney just running into trouble there, really.
Had a good shout from Charlton. Simon Charlton backing him up, telling him to come back, come out, come out. Just need to stand on the ball and roll it back to Charlton.
Maybe preparing to bring on Mickey Hazard. Here's Heaney meanwhile. Allen. Mostly Southampton for quite a long time now. Paul Allen.
They must be anxious about the amount of possession that Southampton are having. I mean, Ozzy Ardiles, Steve Perryman, they're hoping to get Hazard on to get the ball, to get hold of it, to take some pressure off. Because they're doing that too often, giving it away easily.
Sheringham was the culprit. Paul Allen, oh, he'd love to score against the club who sold him a year ago.
And Jeff Kenner, you know, at the edge of the box there. All he had to do, Paul, and he'll know it, because I'm sure Jeff Kenner will be telling him, just roll it to me. And I could have dinked in a ball into the box.
Kenner gets there, there's Majorcan. Dowie's the one attacking it. Nethercott beating him in the air. Good battle between those two all night long. Madison shot charged down. Le Tissier. And that's a good challenge by Darren Anderton. Now Tottenham quickly countering. Anderton getting into a wide position. He hasn't done that too often. That's a good-looking ball in there towards Barmby.
Well, lack of inches cost Nicky Barmby there. I'm sure had that been Jurgen Klinsmann with the extra height advantage, that would have helped. Good movement, good run from Anderton, and he looks up. He spots Barmby. There he has the look bend. He knows Klinsmann's not on, and he stands a lovely ball up. Look at the way he digs that out. And it's only Barmby's lack of inches. You see how he's stretching to get on top of the ball.
And that was Barmby's last touch, Andy. He's being substituted. On comes Mickey Hazard.
Who'll sit more in, who won't get forward as much, but will want to get on the ball. Well, that will be his instruction, I'm sure. Get the ball, get hold of it, and put some passes together.
Handball against Le Tissier there. I think everybody in the ground could see that. Who, me?
He's not happy.
I think he definitely did handle it. No push by Benali on Sheringham. Sheringham thought there was his Dowie, and Nethercott gets back well. And we came here really to view the Tottenham United Nations attack, and we've really had to watch their defence being put under a lot of pressure most of the night. Tottenham's odds to win the championship were cut by one London bookmaker from 50 to 1 at the start of the season down to 14 to 1. Does that sound a good bet to you, Andy?
I don't know if I still want some of that, Ian, I'll tell you. I mean, they've had a great start, you can't deny that.
Jordan won it. Allen wide to Kenner. Dumitrescu. That was good work from him. Oh, but he's caught. He's given it away here to Letitia. That could be fatal. Still Letitia. And Spurs defended that well. They forced him across and across and across the penalty area. But now he's got it back again. And now Dowie. Looked like handball by Dowie. It was.
Well, Ile Dumitrescu is a lucky man. So casual, it was untrue. This is the second part of the move. This is after Letitia has been sent right across the box. He actually wins it back. He looks up, Dowie's free at the back post, and I don't know, I think Ian Dowie's had a look. He sees there are not really many options. Look at that, there's not another blue shirt in the box. You can see there, just use of the top of the arm to bring it under control. I'm sure had he had a runner, Ian, he would have headed it across goal. I just thought Matt Letitia had an opportunity earlier just to put his foot behind the ball and test the goalkeeper.
Benali beats Klinsmann to it this time. Got a big jump up in pace for Dumitrescu from the Romanian league, where he'd been playing for the champions and captaining them indeed, Steaua Bucharest, to the quicker, more hectic and power play of the English Premiership. Klinsmann here trying to make something of this one. Hall does well. Klinsmann does even better. He's won it back again. Now here's Dumitrescu. And now here's Klinsmann again! Ooh, Southampton were holding their breath there.
Well, that's what I mean. You can dominate the game, you can have plenty of possession, but in a moment this can happen. Chance out of nothing. The only thing that surprises me here, that from 17 yards, Jurgen Klinsmann doesn't hit the target. I think that would be the criticism, and he would know that. It's there, it's sitting lovely to be in, leaning slightly back, cuts across the ball, and it's never troubling Bruce Grobbelaar.
And he certainly had his finger on the trigger there, Jurgen Klinsmann. Let off for Southampton after they'd had so much of the game in the second half as well. It was just what you were saying, Andy, really, that sooner or later, if you don't make anything of that possession, these multi-talented Tottenham forwards are bound to get another chance somewhere along the line.
Yeah, they feel, even now, Ian, with 20 minutes to go, you expect Tottenham to create at least another couple of chances in the match. They won't always miss the target as badly as Jurgen Klinsmann did then. I mean, look at that, with 27 goal attempts tonight.
Might there be another one now?
14 on target, not a bad ratio, not bad at all.
Charlton in towards Dowie here. He's worked pretty hard up there, Ian Dowie, as he always does. It's his first game of the season. He's only just over an ankle injury. They gave him a really hard workout yesterday. They waited to see whether he'd get any reaction, and he came through okay, and that's why he's in the starting lineup. Nicky Banger on the bench. We may see him before the night's out.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me to see Nicky Banger come on in. He's got 2 goals already this season, so he must be pretty confident at the moment. I think the experience of Ian Dowie won the battle earlier. You've got a guy who scored a couple of goals, he's high in confidence, you're pushing forward, you're looking to get a goal. It might just be worthwhile throwing him on.
He's a different type of striker as well. He's the small, pacey sort, whereas Dowie's very much the old-fashioned kind of target man. Ian Branford always used to use him in that role, coming on as a sub. This is Heaney, meanwhile, for Southampton. That's good challenging back again by Calderwood, who's, well, don't think we're being unfair in saying he is playing for his place with Popescu's arrival.
He's playing quite well, covering wonderfully well again. That's twice in the last 5 or 10 minutes that he's had to cover, once the full-back, once the centre-back, and make important tackles. But look at that, 10 corners to 2.
Letizier's corner is wasted.
Well, he could have 20 corners in, but if you're going to put them there, you may as well not have a corner at all, but he knows that.
Tonight's crowd, it's nearly up to capacity again. The capacity here is only about 24,500, while the rebuilding carries on 22,381. Not too many spare seats to see Tottenham Hotspur these days. But the Tottenham fans have had a rather worrying time of it. They've never been able to relax, and Southampton coming forward again now with Letizier. Dowie holds it up well, is Letizier again. Nethercott with the final decisive challenge. Kerslake. Klinsmann won it all right.
Good throw from Bruce. Oh, he's so alive.
Dimitrescu back challenging, but Allen won that particular battle. Kenner coming forward. Great run here from Jeff Kenner. Oh, and into the side netting. The Southampton fans on the far side thought that was in, but they had a different angle on it.
They did, Ian. Every one of them up. But this is lovely play from Kenner. So determined. Look at the way he just checks inside Justin Edinburgh, and suddenly it opens up for him. And what does he do? Does it come across? No, it goes near post. That's always a difficult angle. But this is why the Southampton fans were all up in. They would have seen Jeff Kenner come in like that, hit the shot past Ian Walker's hand, hit the net, and they think we've equalised.
Well, Kenner's dad used to be a snooker champion in Ireland. He couldn't quite pot that one. Again, Southampton coming closer. That's as close as they have come for a while. Alan Ball. Southampton don't have many managers. They're not one of these clubs who keep chopping and changing. Only the 6th manager in 40 years down at the Dell.
A little shake of the head suggests he can't believe his side are still losing this match.
Hazard cuts it out. Anderton. Sheringham waiting in the middle is Klinsmann once again. It's not a good cross. Edinburgh has won this. Benali puts it away in the end. Letizier. Heaney, who has got the pace to get there maybe. Still Heaney. Was he brought down there by Sol Campbell? And will he be sent off as well? The penalty, I think, will be given.
I'll tell you what, Ian, we've got another one of those. I think they've had one yesterday. Was it inside the box, was it not? Sol Campbell's been called over by the referee. Now let's have a look at this. Heaney's pace causes the trouble. Look at that. Now it's a sheer race. Pace against pace. Here comes the tackle. Oh, I tell you, I wouldn't like to call that, Ian. I wouldn't like to call it.
Very, very tight, this.
It's very tight. The leg comes in there. There's the tackle. Oh, I tell you what, the referee may well just have got that right. But that one's very, very close.
Campbell is sent off. Suddenly it goes wrong. And the master penalty taker, Matthew Letizier, will step forward. The man who has scored 28 out of 29 penalties for Southampton. Alan Wilkie had a very difficult decision. Campbell is off.
Hazard is booked.
He's done some talking out of turn. Well, will Southampton, who've had so much of this game, now get the equaliser? If you wanted anyone to take a penalty for your life, I think in England it would be Matt Letizier. Oh, and he did it again, although Walker got his hand to it. That was a close thing, but Southampton are level.
Well, it's controversial circumstances, Ian, but no more than Southampton have deserved. Ian Walker gets it right, and he is very unlucky. The pace was the thing here. Any less pace in that ball, and Walker's putting it round the post. The pace kept it in. Now we've got a game.
Second goal of the season for Letitia, who scored a point saver at Aston Villa. It's his first penalty, and that takes him to 29 in 30 attempts from the spot for Southampton. Here he comes again now. Dowie. Anderton. Southampton fans who've travelled up the M3 in full voice at the moment. And it has to be said, on the balance of the game, you couldn't really deny them that equaliser.
Well, obviously Colin Calder with his drop back into the back four and as a centre-back, where we were so used to seeing him last year. They're going to have to withdraw someone from that front line to give a bit of support into the midfield. And they've got to dig very deep now, Spurs.
Ball is across. A 10-man Tottenham Hotspur.
But the crowd have been quiet, haven't they, most of the evening, and now something has brought them to life, and that'll help the Tottenham players.
Here's Anderton. Good turn, but good challenge too from Benali. Now this is interesting now. Spurs have been jolted by Sol Campbell sending off. It was a touch-and-go kind of decision. Was it inside the penalty area, outside? Did Campbell get his foot to the ball? Big debating issues for later, but for the moment it's Anderton's corner. Dowie was back defending. Corner. What new twists will there be in the final chapter of this story? Dumitrescu will take the corner. Oh, Klinsmann was in there. Grobbelaar just got a hand to it for another corner.
Well, it's a great response, isn't it, from Spurs? It's the best period they've had in the second half. The most pressure. What a good touch from Bruce.
Nethercott's up here again for this one. Anderton takes it. And that's behind for a harmless goal kick for Southampton.
Well, all the talk, Ian, will be penalty or not, sending off or not. There's Campbell. He doesn't get the ball. He does get Heaney, and I think that's a penalty. I think the referee's right in that, but whether Campbell should go off Ian for that, well, I may dispute that.
Yes, I suppose the question is, was that a deliberate and cynical professional foul, or was it just a mistimed challenge?
I think not.
That's the question.
I think a booking there for Sol Campbell would have been sufficient punishment on top of a penalty decision. But I think Alan Wilkie, tight-loaded decision, looks every time we see it, was probably right.
Could be a referee, eh? Nethercott. That really was one of those where the referee could have done with the video replay, wasn't it? Almost for assistance, like the third umpire in cricket.
Don't think it would have helped him, man. It helped me.
Well, you've come to your decisions, though, haven't you? The jury has delivered its verdict.
Yeah, but I've seen it 7 times.
Exactly.
The referee reacts in a split second, and that's what makes the decision so difficult here.
Porter would lose his footing there. That's an interesting talking point, maybe, for later for the talkback match, whether we might one day have third referees or second referees sitting up in the stands making the decisions. Just
wonder, Gary Mabbutt, the other substitute, will he be thinking of bringing him on just to protect the defence a little bit?
Now he helps that on towards Heaney. It was Heaney's pace, really, that helped to set up that penalty chance in the end for the Saints. Here they come again. Southampton may be fancying their chances here.
It wouldn't surprise me if they took off. Sorry, it wouldn't surprise me if they took off the Romanian Dumitrescu, because it's not really about him at the moment.
Klinsmann. Lovely bit of magic from the German. And that's a good challenge from Charlton. There were screams from the Tottenham fans for a penalty, but really, they were quite ridiculous screams. He played the ball.
They were ridiculous screams. Watch Charlton get back in here. Great tackle, perfectly timed. And I think what one or two Southampton players quite unfairly are saying he made a meal of it. I didn't think he did. But the tackle was fair. I didn't think Klinsmann overreacted when the tackle came in here. And I think one or two fiery Southampton players just maybe overreacted. It's a tense situation we have here.
Of course, the multilingual Klinsmann would have understood every word. Anderson takes it. Yes, I wonder if they thought Klinsmann was down for a dive. Now there's players down injured. There's a head injury here.
Well, you talk about the commitment in this game, in the Premiership. We're certainly seeing plenty of that. I think the referee, quite rightly, any time there's a clash of heads, Ian, the whistle's blowing. You can see in it comes here. Oh, dearie me.
I'm just wondering who that is who's gone down. I think it might be Heaney, is it?
It is. It's Neil Heaney.
Yeah. And they had to stop the play quickly, and there's no question here of carting him off on a stretcher to get him treated. This is sensible. He needs to be treated on the pitch. This is a head injury. And that's just common sense. He's all right again.
He looks a little happier, would you say?
Yes, he does. And he looks the same.
Same.
And Steve Perriman there with him. Well, we did say that Tottenham, Alan Sugar's club, might be given a much harder ride than a lot of people thought right at the start of the evening, because Tottenham and Southampton, I think, were really quite fired up by the way this game was previewed as the Jurgen Klinsmann show.
Yeah, it made Borley's job very, very easy. He wouldn't have needed the team talk. Just make sure these lads got the papers this morning.
That's Letitia with a lovely piece of control. Instant. Heaney here. That's handball. And then he's kind of kicked the ball away, Heaney. Now that was not very far, but kick it away he did. A little bit lucky to get away with that, but he does. Well won by Hall. 6.5 minutes remaining here. And Spurs, who started as heavy odds on for the home win here tonight against the Southampton side, who haven't won so far this season. Now down to 10 men and having to work maybe in defence even of 1 point as Kenner comes storming forward again. Edinburgh's challenge, legal, says the referee. And even Mickey Hazard back there defending. That's not his usual forte.
You can't give it away like that, Ian. Try the delicate pass. Now his team are under pressure again.
They've just been jolted back to reality a little bit tonight. Tottenham, after this amazing adventure that they've had at the start of the season with all the publicity over Klinsmann and Dumitrescu and now Popescu. Anderson having to get back and defend. I think that might have hit one of our microphones by the sound of it. That's another few £100 down the drain. Majorton. Cross here to Charlton. Dowie nods it down. Madison's up there. And Nethercott, who's looked pretty solid back there. Winning it, finding Klinsmann too. Sheringham, Dumitrescu here. And he's just forced a wee bit wide, and Grobbelaar given the chance he needed.
He's ridiculous, he is. Why didn't he just pick it up like any normal goalkeeper?
But look where he is now. Well, the crowd loved it. The club may have changed, but the antics haven't. Dumitrescu, Allen's challenge. Under 5 minutes to go. Dumitrescu hustled out of it. Letitia holds it up, waits for some blue-shirted support. Plenty starting to arrive in the middle. Here's Magilton, one of them. He was offside.
Inexperience there, Ian. Brought to an end a promising situation and plenty shots forward. Neil Heaney's looking right across the line. Shouldn't really be getting himself offside in that situation.
Dumitrescu, Klinsmann here is deep, couldn't quite reach it. And I think the flag was up anyway against Jurgen Klinsmann. What makes you think he didn't agree with that decision, Andy?
We can see it again. Here's the ball coming in now. You can see he's offside. The decision's right, but watch Bruce. Look how far out he is, the guy. Just coming into the shot.
Now, there's some more talking going on now. Referee Alan Wilkie is going to book Bruce Grobbelaar, I think, here. And I think that must be for time wasting.
I mean, that is ridiculous if it is. Bruce wanted to take a quick free kick. He took it. The referee says, no, you can't take a quick free kick. Take it back. Now, if he's booking him now for wasting time, when if you're a Southampton player, you want to be getting on with it because you're back in the game, you've got a man extra, you think you can win the game. I'm sure the last thing in Bruce Grobbelaar's mind is wasting time.
I'll have to check afterwards that's what it was for, but appeared to be that, didn't it? Southampton with late pressure. Are they going to take all 3 points here? Letitia and Hall had just got into an offside position when that was played. Super Sunday for you is a good one. Chelsea against Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn looking as strong as ever. Chelsea much improved. And then next Monday it's the East Anglian derby. Ipswich against Norwich City, a passionate affair from Portman Road. Kerslake. Cut out by Kenner. Allen lays it off. Kenner again, tried to pick up Allen's run. Edinburgh cut it out. Been a good solid performance this from Southampton.
It's been more than that, Ian. It's been more than that. This has been a very good performance. We arrived here talking only about Tottenham.
Oh, he's missed there, Letitia! Oh, nightmare for Nethercott. He missed it. Letitia has his second, and Spurs' nightmare may be complete.
Well, what can you say? You have to have sympathy with Stuart Nethercott. He's defended very well indeed. The ball comes across, whether it doesn't set up for him, no, he misjudges it. It came at an awkward height, totally misjudged it. And Matt Letitia does not often miss this sort of situation. Watch at the height it goes up, look at that. It's at an awkward height. He should still have dealt with it, no doubt about that. But from 9-8 yards, Letitia doesn't miss those.
2 for Letitia, 2 for Southampton. They're 2-1 up here. It's the score most neutrals would certainly not have bet on at the start of play here tonight.
But they've been worthy leaders at the moment, Ian. Well worth the 2-1.
Heaney breaking through again. All gone sour for Spurs. They led for so long. They led early with Klinsmann, but Campbell's been sent off, and here comes Southampton again. Are they going to add some more insult to it? Into injury time now. Spurs have it. They may have one last chance to rescue a point here. Hazard to Dumitrescu. Klinsmann waits in the middle with Sheringham. Hazard. Dumitrescu again. Grobbelaar with one hand, and waiting to pounce behind him was Jurgen Klinsmann, but Bruce Grobbelaar was Southampton's saviour there.
Well done, the goalkeeper, just when you need him. Klinsmann, watch 18 pull off the back of Francis Benali. He's got a simple header. No, that was until that man arrived on the scene.
Minute of injury time played. Southampton are on the verge of their first victory of the season. And for Tottenham, it would be a second successive home defeat, having lost to Manchester United. Jurgen Klinsmann has been named man of the match. Agree with that, Andy?
I'm saying nothing.
It's not like you.
Perhaps the fact that we're at White Hart Lane may have something to do with that, Ian. I think one or two Southampton players would have something to say about it as well.
Yes. Let's say it was a contentious decision, shall we, and leave it at that. Kenner.
Tell you, Alan Ball wouldn't have had many better performances from his side since he's taken over. He really wouldn't. They've done everything and more that he's probably asked before the game.
Majorcan helps this one on to Letitia. And Charlton again, Southampton continuing to dominate really and retaining possession very well indeed. Letitia will be quite happy to bide the time now and let the clock run down, I would think.
That's all they want to do.
And that ends it. Spurs are beaten at home for the second successive time. Southampton have their first one. Matthew Letitia with 2 goals, yet another penalty from him after Sol Campbell had been sent off, and then a nightmarish error by Stuart Nethercott, who otherwise had a pretty good game there at the back, letting in Letitia. And the Jurgen Klinsmann story, well, we all came to admire Spurs, but we left admiring Southampton, Andy.
Without a doubt, Ian. Even going a goal down within, what, 5.5 minutes, Southampton showed great character, to get back into the game, not to be phased, and then great composure and confidence when they had the ball. They really have only got what they deserve tonight, I think, Southampton. They've arrived here, they've played very positive. There's Paul, he's delighted. He's every right to be pleased. I tell you, I said it a minute ago, I don't think his team have played as well as that too often.
Yeah, he loves that. He's a man with great love and passion for the game, lives every second of it, and that was an excellently earned victory. There we are, Bruce Grobbelaar and Ian Walker. Let's go backstage now and meet the Southampton hero, Matt Letitia. He's with Nick Collins.
Matt, many congratulations, your first victory of the season. You had to really battle for that one though, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We created a lot of chances though. Missed a few myself, but in the end I thought we got the result we deserved because we played very well tonight.
What was the feeling at half-time when you were a goal down and yet, as you said, you'd created a lot of chances and had a lot of possession?
Yeah, we just had to concentrate and not